You are absolutely right. Pedophilia, sexual assault, abuse, trafficking, not a partisan issue. However, how it's handled absolutely is. I'm not sure how you could have watched an entire video where I highlighted a bunch of legislation, a bunch of direct quotes, a bunch of advocacy groups, all advocating and trying to legislate and supporting verbally child marriage, and they're all Republicans, and then you could make this comment. But apparently you need some more clarification on why you support child trafficking and just trafficking in general and sexual abuse and child marriage. Now, despite, child abuse and pedophilia not having any inherent political affiliation, there is only one political group trying to make those things legal. But since the legislation isn't apparently speaking for itself to you, let's talk about how the groups handle people who do this kind of shitty stuff. And I think nothing quite highlights the difference between the two political parties than Al Franken. Al Franken was a senator from my home state of Minnesota and was a political powerhouse, arguably swung a dick bigger than anybody in the fucking Senate. And that man was undoubtedly the Democrats' MVP of the upper chamber. He most likely would have went on to be president eventually. Before Al Franken was a senator, he used to be a comedian and he was on SNL for a while. On a USO tour where he was entertaining the troops while he was a comedian, he did something, incredibly inappropriate and uncalled for. He took a picture pretending to touch the breasts of Leanne Tweeden, a conservative radio host that he was on tour with out there. And then the anti-cancel culture crowd, who cancels fucking everything, decided it was Al Franken's time to be canceled. So over a decade after this picture was taken, they released it and made a big scandal about it. And absolutely as they should. It was something inappropriate and something he needed to answer for and be held accountable for. There's a perspective y'all should try out sometime. And how did the Democrats respond to this? They forced him to resign. A bit of an overkill reaction for the crime, in my opinion, but nonetheless, that's a pretty good snapshot of how the Democratic Party handles situations like that. And hardly an isolated incident. Anthony Weiner is another example. He got caught sending inappropriate messages and things to women and doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing, and he immediately resigned, and then he went to fucking prison. There was nobody protesting that he was being treated unfairly and being picked on. No one from the party defended him. I'd hope you'd see where I'm going with this, but I kind of lost faith after you made this comment on the last video, so let's contrast this to the people that you vote for. Matt Gaetz, for example, we have very credible evidence that he paid underage girls for sex. And by very credible evidence, he did. He absolutely did pay women and underage girls for sex. And then he's voted against bills that would fight sex trafficking and stop revenge porn on at least 3 separate occasions through his career. Not only has he not resigned and not gone to prison, you keep re-electing him and the people who protect him. If that's not bad enough, the guy that you all idolize got caught admitting that he engages in sexual assault on a regular basis. Grab him by the pussy, they just let you do it. He's raved about how sexually attractive he finds his own daughter, even when she was a minor, on television. He was personal friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who recruited underage girls from his resort. And when talking about Jeffrey Epstein, he said, hey, he's a terrific guy who likes beautiful women as much as I do. Many of them on the younger side. He's openly bragged about just being able to walk into the dressing rooms at Miss America and Miss Universe pageants where there's barely, if at all, dressed teenage girls. He paid hush money to cover up his affairs with porn stars. He appointed Supreme Court judges who have been accused of rape. And did your party demand his resignation? Did it stop you from voting for him? Did it stop you from vehemently defending all of his indefensible actions? Nope, you tried to overthrow democracy to keep him as your supreme leader. So yes, Republicans do support these things. You support these things. Abuse, trafficking, child marriage, pedophilia, these may not be partisan behaviors, but they are certainly partisan issues. Issues about behaviors that you, your cohorts, and your party vote to perpetuate, vote to expand, vote to remove accountability for those actions. And if that makes you feel bad, then good.